Good morning, evening, and afternoon, and welcome to part 43 of Aokana, no Kanata no fōリズム. Last time we were in the battle, or the match I should say, of Misaki versus Rika. And we went into that battle knowing that Misaki should win that match. And in the end, she did. And it wasn't as one-sided as it showed. The score was 4-2, and you would think it was a bit closer than you would think, I should say, rather so. But if you saw how they both acted, and not acted, but more the way they performed, I should say, you could see that Misaki is miles ahead in terms of pure skill and thought processing. Where Rika used some strategy, or not used strategy I should say, rather she didn't think before she acted in some of her strategy. She nearly threw it all away by going straight down, which was what we could tell was a rookie mistake. I'm trying to word this in a way where I'm thinking at the same time, because I honestly didn't quite enjoy their battle. It didn't feel great in a way. Sorry for those weird pauses. I'm just thinking at the same time. Yeah, last episode wasn't. It had quite a lot of negative aspects to how I view it. The one was Rika, to me, felt like when we were training with her in the training camp, and the way she herself performs, came across as a lot stronger than what we saw in the match. I don't know, it feels like she probably wouldn't be as good of a Skywalker if she wasn't a speeder. I don't know. The way Rika had performed that match, to me, it felt like she didn't have the experience, and to me that doesn't make sense, because their school, I always forget their school's name, get mixed up with another name for some reason. Their school should have the potential to cater to the mistakes that could arise, in a sense. Just that simple mistake of her going down should have been a simple and common thing to hammer into Skywalker's memory, saying that never go down, especially when you're trying to run away from a person, another Skywalker. And then yeah, Misaki, she had the same mentality of not going all out, or not have her. She acted a bit weird to me last time. Like, she didn't want to go all out, but only when Rika was performing strongly did she go all out. I don't know, maybe I was not reading it correctly. But I'm hoping that she's able to do her best against Shindo. Another thing, it's almost like a rant this beginning of this episode. I don't like doing it that way, but it's just the way I've been feeling about the last episode. I thought when I was watching Rika's personality, it didn't feel like how I thought it would be in the beginning of the series. I don't know how to word it correctly, but not like straight-laced or... Like, I know the Japanese word, majimena. Like, for some reason I can't remember the English, that's so weird. Like, not straightforward, but more... That's so weird doing it this way. I actually have to look up the word for majimena and then go the other way around when I'm normally wanting to do that. But yeah, I didn't really quite enjoy last episode, but serious or earnest. I don't know how I forgot that word, what word I was looking for, but yeah. She's... maybe that's not actually the right word I was thinking of, but yeah, anyway. My opinion of Rika has slightly gone down, but that's also probably because we haven't seen her as much as the other characters. But yeah, anyway, this intro is getting a bit too long. Anyway, so that was just the first half. The second half also irritated me mainly because of Asuka's battle. The battle we did not see. And a person in the comments made a good point of how, yes, it's a bit annoying, but it's understandable that we can't have her kind of lose her first match, or we didn't really have a good no. Sorry, my heart's and irritated and just not all over the place. That's why I don't like recording when I'm doing in these mentalities. State of mind, I should say. Yeah, so the match, Asuka's match, can't have it go up against someone we know, and you can't really show a match against someone we don't know, in a sense. I can understand that point as well, but then they made another good point of how they kind of neglected her first match, her real proper first match. So this was her first tournament win, her first match win, and they kind of just brushed it over. And I feel like that was the biggest point. And I mean, I can understand how you can't have that first major win against a well-known character, because obviously all the known characters are good, are skilled, are strong. But my idea of how they could have done it was how it could have had like a blank-faced sprite of a no-named Skywalker. Could have just had it a random character speak a few words and then they show mainly her in that battle. That way we can see how she performed, how she took it, and we don't even know what her score was. How did she win? What was her score in the end? Was it a strong win? Was it a weak win? Did she barely win? We don't know. There's a lot of things I disliked about it. How did Masaya lead her as a second? That's also another thing I've been conscious of, is his coaching ability. So yeah, a lot of back and forths, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see more of it in the second day. But yeah, so that is the end of the first day, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of talking, a lot of other things between this match and the next official match. So I don't think we'll get into anything today, but this thing is always surprising me, so let's see. Well, let's call it a day. Make sure you head straight home.
明日同じ時間に集合だぞ。遅刻しないように気をつけてな。はい。
Phew, the first day was exhausting. Okay, this is a good place for us to interact more with Rika, because we haven't ever interacted with her a lot. I'm on my way home after splitting up with everyone. And I can't help but look back on the day's events. Asuka winning her match is a major plus. I was starting to see how she can grow thanks to that. Yeah, something we would love to have seen. It's great that her potential has finally led to results. Still, the hard part begins now. Asuka won't keep winning at her current level of skill. And that means her real goal is learning something at this tournament that she can use in the next one. Some sort of move or strategy that suits her. I'll have judge what's best as I watch her play. Sorry, what? Maybe it's I'll have to judge what's best as I watch her play. I don't know, just feel it sounds weird there. And then there's Misaki. I expected her to win, but her results were still shocking. I didn't know she was that much better than Ichinose. Their match honestly looked a little one-sided. If only her personality was better. I feel kind of bad for Ichinose, since I know she puts in a ton of work. Yeah, that's a weird thing for me with Riko. Is we know she does a lot of training, a lot of knowledge. She does things by the book, so she's really knowledgeable. She's from a strong school as well. So why was that match that bad? That honestly just doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, she's the one I'm most worried about. Well, it's Takafuji we're talking about, so I'm sure they did a great job of supporting her. I don't know. To me, that's in terms of leading up to the tournament, doesn't sound like they did a good job. Besides, she seemed fun after that match. Guess I should at least talk to her when Next thing I know, I'm in front of my house. And, before I know it, someone's right beside me. So they arrived home at the same time. It's Ichinose. She bows her head as soon as she notices me. I think that what bothered me was how she is when she was fighting against Misaki. I'm not gonna lose. I'm gonna win. I'm going to do whatever I can to win. Or I don't know if you know what I'm talking about in terms of her personality, how it was during that match. And then you look at Rika right now, smiling, all not obviously she's not gonna be happy about it, but her personality to me, it feels like it's a 180. It doesn't feel the same. But obviously we've only seen her once, in a sense, in a fighting matchup. So it's hard to tell how her personality is. I mean, we haven't seen her much at all, so we don't really know much about her. That's another negative thing about this story. Hi. I raise my hand to greet her. Well, this is awkward. I guess it's no surprise since we're neighbors and we were just at the same place. I tried to have quick chat and leave it at that, but sorry. Why are they talking by their windows now all of a sudden? Sorry, I was going to say, because didn't he was worried about her and at least talk to her, but then he wants to rush it? He just wanted a quick chat? But anyway, I'm just in my mental thought process right now is the same as when I first started the series, and I dislike that. So I'm sorry about that. Yeah, she was really happy about it, though she seemed to almost not believe it too. I explained Asuka's situation to her. How we had to convince her she won thanks to her own skill, and how she doesn't seem to fully buy into that idea yet either. Right, she's got a lot to learn in terms of mindset and mental fortitude. Ichinose mutters that in a dejected tone. I know it's strange for me to say this, but You did good today. The match could have gone either way.
ありがとうございます。
Ichinose giggles as she begins to respond.
私の試合を見て、ひなたさんはどう思いましたか？
Yeah, rather than playstyle, she mentions about the match itself. So, how was the match in his view? That's a tough question. I think it over for a minute before deciding to give her my honest opinion. You were very straightforward, for better or worse.
素直ですか？
Yeah, and honestly, I can see that being a weakness. Like Misaki said earlier, that makes her an open book. But she also launched a surprise attack during the match. Plays like that aren't too bad.
ドッグファイトを仕掛けた時ですね。
Right, unfortunately dogfights are Misaki's specialty, so you just ended up putting yourself at a disadvantage. Another thing that should have been mentioned to her by her second, and should have also honestly been, honestly sure it was a surprise move, but it was a move that was just filled with disadvantages. It wasn't a properly thought out move, in a sense.
そうですね。
Is there a reason why you did that?
ええ、
Ishinose responds with a wry smile on her face.
途中1対3になった時点で気づいたんです。総合力で飛沢さんには勝てないと。
True. Okay, I can understand it a bit more now. You are at a big disadvantage. You know you're probably going to lose regardless, so try something you don't think is going to work, but you're at least trying something. I can understand that point now. I thought as much. Ishinose's movements slowed down around that time. I thought she might have given up, which was why her counter attack surprised me.
で、佐藤院先輩に相談したんです。そしたら先輩から言われました。
Oh?
これからのあなたを考えるためにちょっと試してみましょうって。
Okay, yeah. So I was arguing and complaining about SunaeVN not doing a better job, but seeing it this side does make a lot more sense now. And age or growth, sorry, let me just say that again.
これからのあなたを考えるためにちょっと試してみましょうって。
Okay, yeah. Really? It's a style that involves confusing opponents, something she's completely unaccustomed to, basically. SunaeVN-san herself has no experience with it either, yet she made Ichinose try it. She may have lost in the end, but the experience she gained made it worthwhile. That was good coaching on SunaeVN-san's part. Yeah, I think I was viewing the matches too one-sided in terms of you just need to win and you need to try and do whatever you can to try and improve that outcome. But I wasn't thinking it in terms of a learning experience or trying to get as much of the match as you can. If you know what I mean. Anyway.
ドッグファイトもやってみましたが、それより何よりまだまだ経験が足りないみたいです。
But then again, I go back to the point of her school and something where they should have obviously been fighting against fighters. You obviously need to practice against different flying styles. So it's not like Misaki is the fastest is the fastest Skywalker compared to her teammates. So I'm sure there's someone faster than Misaki at her school. So with that being the case, should they not have realized that? I know, not faster, but I mean more like better fighter, I should rather say. So yeah, I don't know. Sorry, my mind's all over the place.
だからもっと練習します。戦い方も考え方も未熟だということが分かりましたから。
Make sure you aren't just going through the motions of practice. Well, this is just my personal opinion, but her weakness doesn't just apply to real matches. Based on what I've seen, she can be too straightforward and rigid during practices as well. And just practicing, like always, won't really help her improve on that front.
素直すぎるというのは、そういうことも含めてなんですね。
Yeah, pretty sure SunaeVN wanted to tell you the exact same thing.
先輩がですか。
SunaeVN's style is as conventional as it gets. So maybe that's why she sees herself in Ichinose. They are very similar when it comes to flying circus. I'm not telling you to play dirty, but you should at least try to have a few surprises in store. Ichinose falls silent as she thinks over my words. I know it hurts when someone belittles your style of play. No one ever wants to deviate from the path that they have dedicated themselves to. But Ichinose will have a hard time improving at this rate. I really hope she finds something that makes her want to change. Ichinose starts talking again soon enough. Yeah? Seems like this is hard for her to say, since she's gulping down her breath and all.
日向さんにちょっとお願いがあるんです。
Or what? I wonder what it is. Judging by... No, I really have no clue. What does she want? I think I have a clue, but I thought they were already doing it. Practice sessions together?
そのクナハマの練習になんですけど、時間のある時に私も参加させていただけないでしょうか。
I was half correct, but in a sense, I can see why, but again, it makes it feel like she's just saying that her school's practices are not worth it or aren't helping her at all. Huh? Can't say I ever expected that. Can I ask why?
私、試合が終わった後、佐藤院先輩から言われたんです。一ノ瀬さんはもっといろんなものを見た方がいいって。そうじゃないとすぐに限界に行き着くって。
So I can see this being used in one way, where it's known that when you're in a club or a group and you're playing or practicing against each other, like say their school club, they're fighting against each other, like Misaki against Asuka, and they're getting used to their own flying in a sense. They're getting used to their opponents, their mannerisms, their weaknesses, their strong points. You're getting too used to it, so you develop your own style against that style. So that's why practicing outside of your group can help improve yourself even more. So I can understand that point.
だからちょっとでもいいから日常の出来事に変化をつけてみようかなって。
Wow. Man, she's one amazing woman. In some way, a way I wouldn't have put it. I would have said like maybe she's really thought about it, or she's really put a lot of thoughts into this decision, or one amazing woman. How do they say it in Japanese? Games. Oh, it froze there for a second. So, is that her name? I can't read it properly right now. Is that it there? Oh, I'll just do it. Oh no, that's Rika's name there. Sorry, I'm just trying to... Why can I not... Oh, this is Ichinose's name there. So... Is that a name? That looks like a name to me. That, yeah. Is it Saruin-san? Yeah, that is the person there. So let me go English. Yeah, it's Saruin. So he's saying, man, she's one amazing woman to Satsui then, is what I'm getting from that. Yeah, Saruin-san. Okay, so okay, yeah. It was just so weird. I was just seeing that, man, she's one amazing woman. So yeah, in the Japanese he said, yeah, Saruin-san. So yeah, you, as I thought, as a senpai and a coach, are great. You are a good senpai and coach in a sense. So I don't understand where this one, she's one amazing woman comes from. Okay, so yeah, that just threw me off there completely. She already told Ishinose everything I wanted to say.
だからせっかく親しくなったことですし、もっとクナハマの人たちとも話したり練習したりしたいって思ったんですけど、ダメでしょうか?
She claps her hands and gazes at me with puppy dog eyes. Is there any man in the world who can defend against this? Of course you can. And honestly, I don't know if that is something you can really say. Sure, you're the coach, but you got to think about your members' thoughts, as well as your what's the word I'm looking for? Aoi, you got to have Aoi's permission obviously as well, because obviously you're having somebody from outside participate in the school itself. Well, not in the school, but their practices. It's something that he himself, I'm sure, cannot have sole decision on. Ishinose's face lights up right away. She thanks me as she bows her head over and over again. Calm down, it's no big deal, really. Not really. Honestly, you'll probably be a huge help. Practicing with someone from an FC powerhouse like Takafuji should work wonders. I'm just thinking, go back to when they had their joint practice. Sure, it did help, but I don't think it worked wonders. After all, Ishinose is not the only one who can grow from trying new things and facing new opponents. Yeah, that's what I was mentioning earlier. It's good to try out new things. Well, let's pick this up after the tournament.
はい、その時は部長と一緒に伺います。
Your president.
どうかしましたか?
No, that's nothing. That was a bit of a weird thing there. Sorry, what was the term they used again? はい、
その時は部長と一緒に伺います。
Buchoka. Why is he... I just pictured Shindo-san showing up with that creepy smile on his face. Oh, okay, he's just being cautious of him. Man, I hope he isn't going to ask for anything weird tomorrow. Alright, we've got to get up early again, so I'd say it's time to hit the hay. I dislike that term, but okay. But also... another thing was her asking that decision, or her having that... So I'm trying to think of the way to say this. With her wanting to participate in their Flying Circus Club practice, sure, I said it was about it wasn't his decision. He couldn't make... He's got to have everybody else's thoughts on the whole idea. But not only that, I just realized that she's also kind of gone out of her way to ask for this when I would think that she would also need permission in a sense, because maybe I'm thinking of it too strictly, but it's almost like you are going to participate in another team, but you're also using strategies and styles that you've learned from your own school. So in a sense, you're kind of leaking your other school's ability in a sense. I don't know if that's the right way of putting it and if I'm kind of portraying it correctly, but that's how I viewed it. But maybe I'm thinking of it too strictly. Ah, sorry. Right. And that brings an end to the first day of our club's very first tournament. Okay, so I knew there was going to be a bit of discussion in between, but I thought there was going to be a bit more. Not just between them, I thought there was going to be something about the other members. Okay, anyway, and now the second day begins. Everyone's gathered under the blazing midsummer sun once more. Everyone is tense and quietly whispering. There's something you tend to see on tournament days. You hear the organizers getting everything set up, and the players themselves preparing for their matches, which results in the atmosphere being a mixture of drowsiness and anticipation. I'm making my way past all the tents and stalls as a rather awkward mic test blurs around me, and eventually... Alright, this is Shirase's sister? I think his name was Shirase. Yeah. Someone calls out to me from behind. Surprising, I didn't think from her personality that she'd be the one to initiate a conversation. And when I turn around, I find Shirase's son's little sister, Minamo-chan, fidgeting around like a tiny squirrel. Morning, Minamo-chan. You here to lend your brother a hand? Okay. It's a little weird that she's hesitating so much, but I guess she's always like this. Actually, I was just on my way to see your brother. Why don't we walk to his stall together? Minamo-chan just stands there and doesn't move. Oh, sorry, I was waiting for you. Sorry, I was a bit confused. Don't be. The situation turns tense as we both wait for the right moment to start walking. I need to say something to clear the air or we'll be stuck here all day. Oh, I know. His stall is over this way, yeah? Minamo-chan hurries over to me with light steps. Okay, then let's go. She seems pretty happy all of a sudden. Did something good happen to her this morning? She seems a lot happier than usual. I never think of it, I never bothered to ask you. Did I? Do you play Flying Circus? Do you play Flying Circus? It doesn't sound right to me. Because you don't really play Flying Circus, you do Flying Circus. Because playing Flying Circus to me doesn't insinuate with playing. Oh, she does, and she stopped herself from stopping. Interesting. I wonder if my one theory is correct, but we'll have to wait for that. I just wanted to see what word they use for this. So yeah, Minamo-chan wa flying circus yatte nai no? Yeah, they just do in a sense. Yatteiru. Trying to think of that verb for yaru. Yeah, to do, the unsafe to perform. Well, they also have it to play a game, but I don't think that's the right word here. So yeah, I think to do would be the right word, right verb. And they use the continuous tense here. Okay. So if I keep doing that, it's just I find that quite interesting doing that. Minamo-chan pauses and suddenly casts her eyes down to the ground.
ません。はい、やってま。
So I listen to this together so I can see how high she does it.
はい、やってま。ません。
Yes, I do not. So you don't?
はい。
Okay, so she does, but wants to hide it. Interesting. What a waste. You're in the perfect area for flying circus, and your brother would be a great coach. I'm guessing that is what it is. Sorry. Do you maybe not like flying circus? Minamo-chan shakes her head left and right, which makes her hair bounce.
違います。好きです。
See, why don't you play then? I immediately regret asking her that question. I mean, I'd hate it if someone asked me that too. True. My bad. Forget I ever asked.
いえ、恥ずかしいだけです。
Don't force yourself to tell me if it's too embarrassing.
答えるのが恥ずかしいのではなくて、飛んでるとこ誰かに見られるのが恥ずかしくて。
Okay, so obviously it's super weird of a theory, but and I honestly don't think it's true, but one of the things I had was the identity of the masked Skywalker was Minamo, mainly for the one specific reason: hiding your face. Once you have hidden your face, your thoughts of everybody seeing you and you finding it embarrassing goes out the window. That's one of the things I found. And then also with how Shirase acted towards Master Skywalker, it's... yeah. Oh, okay. She finds the thought of other people seeing her flying embarrassing? Huh. That reminds me, I think I've seen you over the sea before. Your form was great. Your skill looked pretty polished too. Guess that makes sense since you're Shirase's sister and all. What's wrong?
覗き見をするなんて、マサヤさん、エッチです。
I wasn't peeping, honestly. I just saw you by chance. There was nothing perverted about it. Minamo-chan giggles at that.
エッチですよ。
I kind of liked the way she was being a bit more of a playful part in terms of the Japanese sign. Is she teasing me? Look, you're wrong, okay? Minamo-chan nods while giggling. I bet you'd go pretty far with enough practice.
やっぱり恥ずかしいから。
I see. Yeah, that is a real problem. I mean, it'd be hard for her to push herself when her anxiety is getting the best of her.
知らない人の前だと緊張するから。
オスだ、ひなた。
And here comes a loud guy who can easily just throw that out. Minamo-chan jerks up in terror. She's startled by the voice that's calling out to me.
おお、白瀬さんの妹さんもいたのか。
おはようございます。
Huh? You know Minamo-chan?
筋肉の相談をしに白瀬さんの店には何度も行ってるしな。
Huh. It'd be interesting if there would be a little bit something here. I can see that. It did seem like they clicked during that safety course.
それでは私は向こうに用事があるので。
Aren't you gonna go see your brother?
家で会ってますから。
It's true. Alright, well, see you around. But she is quite happy today. Interesting. And we actually didn't even see, I just realized now, we didn't see Shion properly in the previous day because he went off on his own to be alone. And we didn't see him ever since, so we don't know how he is or how he took the match. Minamo-chan scampers off like a squirrel after bowing her head to me. And I simply gaze at her receding figure for a while before Praise talks to me.
あれか、平田は妹キラーか?
What? No, obviously not.
うちの妹ならたまにキラーしてくれても構わんぞ。
The first one I thought was him mentioning, are you going for Shirase-san's sister in a sense, that type of going for. But now the second one, some different words are being used here sometimes, so I know they use Kira. So, in a sense he's saying it's alright to go for his sister as well? But because the way the English is emphasizing the word kill here, it's obviously me trying to mean the opposites, but so I'm just trying to see. I don't know why they emphasized on the word kill here. Yeah, no thanks. Anyway, it's good to see you here. I thought maybe he wouldn't show up after his loss yesterday. So I'm glad he seems to be in high spirits. As I look at him, I notice Press puff out his chest boldly.
1回戦で負けたとはいえ、部長として部員連中の試合を最後まで見届ける義務があるだろう。
Alright.
いやあ、おはようマサヤ。
Shirase-san pokes his head out from behind Press's shoulder. Huh? You two are together? Ah, right, I forgot about their weird connection right now with muscles. That's why he's at the store a lot. I know Prez mentioned frequenting his store, but I'm surprised they're actually hanging out.
俺と白瀬さんは仲良しだからな。
Nakayoshi is more like best buds or like getting along naturally in a sense, I guess.
筋肉で結ばれた二人なのさ。
Yeah, gross. I'm guessing they use kimoi. Kimochi warui. I should know those, but I don't. I know those. Kimochi warui is like feels sickening or gross.
今日は僕の方から彼にちょっとした用事があってね。
About? Shira-san brings his lips to my ears. Guess this must be a secret then?
ここだけの話なんだけど、来年スーパーフライが計画されていてね。
Superfly? You mean that long distance race?
そう、それ。
The sport that's popular on the west coast of America and the Philippines. Contestants have to keep flying for 100 miles or 160 kilometers if you enter the metric system. Yeah, thank you. I use that system.
日本じゃまだ開催されたことないんだけど。
Actually, I'm curious if they actually do that in Japanese. Okay, yeah, they do. Okay.
白瀬さんが言うには九州一周のレースの開催予定があるらしくてな。それに参加しないかって誘われてたとこだ。
I'd say that's right up your alley. Long distance races have no real need for short, agile movements. All that matters is the ability to maintain your form over a long period of time. His graph shoes are honestly a little freaky, so the way I see it, he'll do way better in Superfly than a normal Skywalker. I mean, he's literally the only person I can think of who has Balmongs with a heavy speeder tuning. Okay, right, that's the make. But with a race that long, the question becomes whether or not his stamina will last. Brawny people like him tend to build up lactic acid fast, which leads to fatigue. It'll be like making a sprinter run a marathon.
そこら辺はこれから肉体改造をしていくってことで。
Is he able to do that? Is a question.
まあ参加してみるのはいいんだ。しかしな。
Because knowing Shion, he'd probably try to do it with at most at as much muscle as he can. What? That was quite a big size. Couple of size. Don't you do it in one in English? Pierce looks up the blue sky with squinted eyes.
俺は昨日の試合後悔してないぞ。
Makes sense. Rather than make sense, would it not be okay, understandable? Hi, like, yes. Okay. Regret doesn't suit praise.
だけど後悔しているんだ。
So what?
勘違いするなよ。後悔はしてないけど後悔はしてるんだ。
I think I can understand him in a sense. Like, he has no regrets in the way he flew, but he has regrets in how he flew. I can understand what he's going on, but I can understand it's a bit hard to say.
昨日の自分に一切の後悔はない。だけど FC に対する後悔はあるんだ。
Praise grins as he says that.
あれは FC じゃなかったからな。
だね。我慢比べというか意地の張り合いみたいな試合だったね。
True. He probably could have won that match if he just played things differently.
だからな。
Yeah.
この学院での FC は終わったけど FC は続けたいんだ。もしスーパーフライに参加するとしても肉体改造はしない。
So he's going to stop doing, well, I think he is in his last year, so he's probably not going to participate in the next tournament then. I'm sorry, if only I had done a better job as your second.
日向が謝る必要はないぞ。俺がちゃんと日向と向き合えなかっただけだ。だけど今はそういうのができそうな気がする。
Relaxes me a slightly dejected smile as she says that? Come on, you guys can do better than that.
そう思えるのが遅かったけどな。とにかくちゃんと FC と向き合ってみたいんだ。
I'm happy to hear that. I think I still share some of the blame since I failed to coach you properly. But I really appreciate what you just said.
青春だね。いいね。見てるだけで若返りそうだ。
俺はここでみんなの応援をしてるから何かあったら来てくれ。
You're not gonna join us?
最後の試合で負けた俺が言ったらみんな気を使うだろう。そういうとこでテンションを下げてしまいたくないんだ。
I think having one extra person is not going to matter too much, because we know Mashiro lost as well, and Mashiro is going to be there, of course. Well, if you're sure. He's trying to be considerate here, so I shouldn't fight him. Okay, I'll see you later.
頑張れよ、ひなた。
Thanks. I'll walk away after saying that. The second round has officially begun, and we'll start that next time. I apologize for this episode. I was not in the right. I should not have done it today. I should have done it tomorrow or the next day. But yeah. So today we finished off the first day talking with Asuka and them. Then we went on our way home, when we spoke to Rika. Had a lot to say about those moments. I can understand certain parts of why Rika wants to do it. But yeah, there's a lot of positives and negatives, I should say. then we started the next day at the second day of the tournament by running into Minamo. Yeah, she's an interesting character, and I'm starting to the one of the reasons why I haven't been pushing as strongly for the masked Skywalker to be Minamo is mainly because I felt like the uniform, the Skywalker uniform that the masked Skywalker used felt like it was looked like a male. But now I'm looking around here, a lot of the Flying Circus uniforms do look unisexual, so I'm not too sure. Yeah, I have to keep that in my mind. One of my mini theories. Yeah, so the matches are going to be interesting because I can't wait to see how that's going to handle. One last thing was about Shion and his decision to. I think it was. I don't know. At first I thought I read it correctly, but then once he said he was going to take it Flying Circus seriously, then I thought maybe I read the first part wrong. It looked like he said he was going to stop Flying Circus as a club in the club, but he was going to take it more seriously as a whole. I don't know. I could go back and reread it, but anyway. Yeah, it's interesting how I can understand the differences between the normal Flying Circus and the Superfly. It honestly does make sense because obviously I think there are also other sports that use grav shoes. But he said he would take Flying Circus seriously, so Flying Circus is this, but he said he's going to do Superfly. Okay, anyway, that's all over the place for me. Anyway, I'm looking forward to next time, seeing how who's going to fight who, because we know only one fight right now, which is Shindo and Misaki. We already know that's outcome. Well, not outcome, but potential matchup. The others, I'm not too sure who's going to fight who yet. So it's going to be interesting to see that. We'll find that out next time. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought. I'll see you all next time.